funds. In fact, they're projecting well over $4,000 for the average refund for the average individual and or household that goes out. It's a lot of money. Now, generally, according to the IRS, the average refund in general is right around $3,100. They're projecting over $4,100 of the average refund in 2026 on the behalf of 2025. That's very, very exciting for a lot of people that really need that. Now, again, as you can see here in the article, they're suggesting that this is likened to those 3 stimulus checks that we got back in 2020 and 2021, totaling $3,200 is what the total of those 3 payments were. Now, they're basically saying, hey, these payments now going out in the next several weeks here will be very much likened to that. And then they're also indicating later on this year, or a little bit later in 2026, depending on when that happens, according to many people, the president multiple different times, the Treasury Secretary, the White House Economic Advisor, the press secretary, again, the list goes on and on of all these individuals, that we're likely going to see that $2,000 dividend or stimulus check payment as well a little bit later on in the year. And again, we're still waiting on official details as far as when that's likely going to be rolling out to people, but that's likely going to be coming as well, at least according to what they continue to tell us, right? So we're talking like multiple thousands of dollars going out to a significant portion of the population in the United States in 2026. That's going to be, very exciting for a lot of people, and that's exactly what they're also suggesting here in this report and in this article. So again, want to bring this to your attention simply because there's a lot of people out there, look across the board, that really need this money in a massive, massive, massive way because they really don't have any money right now, and many people need this influx of cash. Now, they're also suggesting that this is also going to spur a lot of economic activity because what happens when people get tax refund payments? What do they do with that money? Do they save it? No, not usually. People usually spend that money very, very quickly on all kinds of different things. Again, obviously not every single person, but the majority of the population spends the majority of their refund payments relatively quickly. So they continue to suggest that this is going to be the largest refund cycle going forward. And then again, when people maybe adjust their new withholdings and whatever it happens to be for 2026, they're going to see ultimately more money coming to them each pay period, each and every month as well. So they're contributing a lot of this money coming back to people because of the new tax cut, the reconciliation bill, again, passed back in, June or so, and then signed into law by the president, again, on the 4th of July this past summer. So very exciting for a lot of people. And again, many different people continue to come out and suggest that, this is it. And this is going to be the start of basically a huge cycle where a lot more money is going to be thrown around to a lot of people. Now, one more thing I want to point out really quickly, which is this. Remember, 2026 being the election, right? The midterm election year. So what generally happens, I shouldn't say every single time, what generally happens around election cycles? A lot of big promises are made. A lot of money is handed out. It's like Halloween, and they're handing out candy left and right, which is actually really dollars, right? A lot of dollars being handed out to a lot of different people and in a lot of different circumstances. Now, I'm going to throw this out there really quickly. If you happen to be somebody that does not file a tax return because your income is low, as in your income is low enough where you don't file a tax return, this may not be of a huge consequence to you, as in a positive way, yet. Okay, now again, this is not tax advice, not accounting advice. I'm not your CPA, I'm not your accountant. Talk to your own professional that understands your exact situation. But my point being is that, it really depends on your situation. If you maybe have a dependent, there's still a refundable portion of the new child tax credit payment that is 10% higher than it was last year. Okay, $2,200 per child, or $1,700 is the additional child tax credit, which is the refundable portion, okay? So just because you don't file a tax return does not necessarily mean that there's no money in this thing for you, okay? Here's the thing I just want to throw out, and again, I really want to emphasize this is definitely not tax advice in any way, shape, or form. I can say this right now very confidently. There's a lot of people out there that do not file a tax return because they believe that there's no money out there for them because, hey, I don't file a tax return, my income is low enough. These individuals, again, not everybody, but there's a lot of people out there that leave a lot of money on the table because they're not filing a tax return and not taking advantage of potential refundable tax credits that are available to them, and they don't even know because they don't even file in the first place. My point being is that there's a lot of people that do not file a tax return that are leaving a lot of money on the table that could be paid to you from the federal government, and you may not even know it because you're not even filing anyway. Okay, my point being is that, first off, not tax advice. I don't know your situation, but there's a lot of people out there, and the last person that's going to come and knock on your door and say, hey, we owe you some money, is going to be the federal government, the IRS. They will never come knocking on your door asking to give you money, but they may come knocking on your door looking for money, okay? It's a one-way street. Anyway, my point being is that, well, I'm going to continue to keep you posted with everything going on here. I will certainly keep you updated with all the latest information. Now, I want to point something else out. As we roll into 2026, if you are one of the nearly 70 million people on Medicare, if you ever have questions or need help with your Medicare plan or finding the best Medicare coverages for you, the best one-stop shop to get all of this done completely 100% for free is, well, that phone number, of course, for Chapter Medicare. Again, I partner with them to help those of you in this community completely for free, because there's a lot of people out there that are very, very, very confused about their Medicare, and they need help finding better coverages. They need their questions answered, whatever it happens to be. That is by far your best stop. So take a screenshot, take a picture, whatever you got to do, write this phone number down. At any point throughout the year of 2026, if you ever have any questions, need help with your Medicare, call that number. It'll connect you with a team of trusted advisors who, by the way, have already helped multiple thousands of people in this community alone, like a lot of people, like multiple thousands of people in this community have called that phone number, and collectively, those of you in this community are collectively saving over $2 million a year just by calling that phone number, which is absolutely incredible, okay? Anyway, after you talk to them, drop a comment down below, use the word chapter, let me know how it goes, and I'll give you a shout out in a future video. And again, by the way, if you're turning 65 and becoming eligible for Medicare in the next, few months or so, or even at any point during 2026, call that number now, establish that communication, and just get on their